Hey guys, what's up? Good morning, my pineapples. It's your boy Honest Blaze. So, anyways, I want to talk about this real quick before I head off to work. For those who don't know or do not care, which is totally fine because, first and foremost, in my humble opinion, this woman is a fucking whack job. Candace Owens, for those who know about her, unfortunately, she's a black conservative, a very Trumper and stuff like that, even though allegedly she's trying to change her ways. I personally do not believe that. I believe she just realized that the Democrat that she used to cater to does not like her, and now she's trying to change her image, but she has pretty much soiled her reputation among those who are on like the more on the left, such as myself. Anyways, Candace Owens is recently dealing with a lawsuit. She's being sued by the French president, Emmanuel Macron, and his wife, Brigitte. And the reason she's being sued is because Candace Owens kept saying that Brigitte, the wife of President Macron, is a transgender woman. Now, first and foremost, regardless how you feel about trans people, if you're a born cisgender woman or biological woman, because a lot of women hate that word cisgender, is a scientific term, as such as I'm a cisgender man, but let's get back on topic. If you are a natural born woman and someone saying to you, you're trans, you're trans, you're trans, you're trans, wouldn't that not piss you off? Especially it can affect your reputation and how you're perceived by the people around you. And thing is, this is Candace Owens' whole thing about it's free speech. I can't believe they sued me for this. I don't understand a lot of Americans, first of all, that free speech stuff that we do in America does not translate over to the rest of the world. And even so, you are free to say what you want to say. You're not free from the consequences of what you said. So you say something that's inflammatory, slanderous, a person, depending how severe it is and how that what you're saying can affect someone's livelihood, they can sue you. Good example is how Cardi B sued Tasha K for slander a couple years ago. You cannot talk cash money about somebody and it proves to be false and you get mad that they're going to retaliate and suing you. And mind you, I'm pretty sure President Emmanuel Macron had probably sent Candace a good cease and desist or two, and she kept on going, thinking she was free of the consequences. Now she's realizing that no, you're not, and she's gonna get sued. And I hope Emmanuel and Bridget sue the living crap out of Candace, leave her with nothing, because she deserves it for wanting that mouth that she loves to want. So now I'm gonna play a video real quick of Candace Owens talking about why Donald Trump is not intervening on her behalf and all that stuff and thinking that the lawsuit is ridiculous, is unfair. And then I'm going to give my final... Oh, sorry, I'm shaking my camera because my selfie stick, I should just hold it like this. But shake it for a minute. I wish my stick was bigger, but let's get back on topic. Anywho, I'm going to play a video of Candace Owens speaking on Twitter. This is from Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And obviously this is fair usage. I'm not stealing content here. I'm just posting a video what she's saying, so I don't take nothing out of context. Then I will give my final thoughts.
The more that I think about it, the more absurd it is. Now, the Trump administration, who purports to care about free speech, that was what they ran on. Of course, they're not doing any of that stuff anymore. They're creating DEI for Israel and pushing through laws to redefine anti-Semitism. But they pretended to care about free speech, and you had J.D. Vance, who went over there to Europe and gave a whole speech, tisk tisk, to all of you European leaders that are no longer listening to what your constituents want and are instead punishing them for their speech. If the majority of your constituents think something, you can't create laws and punish them. Right? That was kind of the gist of his speech. The markets have decided what they want, and now you're punishing these people. That's crazy, he said. America's going to be a leader. We don't believe in this. We won't support this. Then you have a literal European leader that is basically saying F you to the American Constitution, right? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte are saying, you know what? We don't like that podcaster in America. And we are going to launch a lawsuit that's never been launched before, an unprecedented lawsuit to impoverish her for speaking. And both JD Vance and Trump have not issued a statement. In fact, where are the journalists even asking them to make a statement? Okay, a state leader is speaking about your constituent and launching a lawsuit and saying you're going to impoverish them for executing their First Amendment right. Where are you? If you are Trump, the first thing you should have done, if you purport to care about America and our Constitution, as you're supposed to be the person that's defending that day in and day out, you would come out and you would say, I don't even know whether I believe that she's a man or woman. Doesn't matter, right? I didn't watch the series. Fair. He didn't watch the series. He could even say, like he said to me on the phone, that I looked at her real close on the Eiffel Tower and it looked like a woman to me. Okay, you can say all those things, but you should say it's unacceptable. I'm a leader of this country. And it is unacceptable that this leader would threaten the First Amendment in any way. We don't need Pam Bondi rushing to issue a statement about a college male that's been shoved by a student for wearing an IDF shirt, okay? We don't need the federal government getting involved on something so meaningless. But we might need our federal government when it comes to this, okay? The job of the federal government is to defend us against foreign invaders. And I would pretty much say Emmanuel Macron right now is being a foreign invader. But no, they're silent. They are silent. And that's a pretty loud silence right now. Because like, if I remove myself out of the situation, it is crazy that Trump has been silent on this matter, especially after Emmanuel Macron flew and tried to get Trump to shut me up. He knows what Emmanuel Macron is doing and how desperate he is to do it. So why is he allowing this attack on our speech? It's crazy.
Okay, now this is my thing. Candace just said all that gibberish for nothing. And honestly, no sympathy. First and foremost, as much as I detest Donald Trump and his whole administration, oh my God, holding this thing up so long is annoying. As much as I detest Donald Trump and his administration, for those who know, that's not Donald Trump's problem. And I feel I'm embarrassed that he got to defend Donald Trump on this, because I do not want to. This is not Donald, Pam Bondi, J.D. Vance's problem. You ran your mouth, kept calling the French president's wife a transgender woman, and now you're suffering the consequences. And you think Donald Trump was to come to your rescue because you didn't know how to shut the fuck up? That is completely your fault. Maybe you should think before you speak. And things like that wouldn't happen. But now you have to suffer the consequences. And like I said, I hope Emmanuel and Bridget burn a hole in her pockets. Because all you had to do is say, okay, I don't think his wife's attractive, blah, 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 blah. But if she's a cisgender woman, she's a cisgender woman. And call it a day. Or when, I'm pretty sure the man didn't go straight to suing her. So, like I said, I hope he did it. If he said to her cease and desist and she kept on going, she did this to herself. And honestly, once she got sued, I think the best thing would have been her to do, instead of doubling down, would have been to like, oops, I'm sorry. And you know what? You're right. Your wife is a cisgender woman, biological woman, whatever. Please don't sue me no more. I'll stop talking about her. That would have been the right course of action. At least to some of the common sense. Anyways, that's all I want to share. There's an article in the description about it for those who want to read up on it. Thanks for watching. Take care of my pineapples. Honest Blake out. Love you. Ciao.